हेलो दोस्तों, मैं आज फिर एक बार आपके सामने एक नया जॉब अपडेट लेकर आया हूँ। आज का ये जॉब अपडेट है यूनियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन द्वारा जारी किया गया नोटिफिकेशन में वो 404 वैकेंसीज फिलअप करने जा रहे हैं नेशनल डिफेंस और इंडियन नेवल एकेडमी के लिए। इसके लिए क्वालिफिकेशन रिक्वायरमेंट है 10+2 और इसका लास्ट डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन है 4 जून 2024। आइए हम डिटेल्स देखते हैं वैकेंसीज के बारे में। इसमें नेशनल डिफेंस एकेडमी में आर्मी के लिए 208 वैकेंसीज है, जिसमें 10 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए है। नेवी के लिए 42 वैकेंसीज है, जिसमें 6 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए है। एयरफोर्स में फ्लाइंग के लिए जो वैकेंसीज है वो 92 है, जिसमें 2 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए है। ग्राउंड ड्यूटीज टेक्निकल के लिए 18 वैकेंसीज है, जिसमें 2 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए। और ग्राउंड ड्यूटीज नॉन टेक्निकल इसके लिए 10 वैकेंसीज है, जिसमें 2 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए है। और इंडियन नेवल एकेडमी जिसमें 10+2 कैडेट एंट्री स्कीम है, इसके लिए 34 वैकेंसीज है, जिसमें 5 फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए है। ऐसा कुल मिला के टोटल 404 वैकेंसीज है। क्वालिफिकेशन और एलिजिबिलिटी रिक्वायरमेंट इसके लिए इस प्रकार है। एज लिमिट जो है 15 से 18 साल तक का है। फिजिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स एज पर एप्लीकेबल स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ द फोर्सेस। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपेंडिक्स 4 देख सकते हैं डिटेल्ड एडवर्टाइजमेंट लिंक का, जो मैंने आगे दे दिया है और डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में भी दे दिया है। क्वालिफिकेशन रिक्वायरमेंट है 10+2 फॉर नेशनल डिफेंस एकेडमी आर्मी के लिए, 10+2 विथ फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री एंड मैथमेटिक्स फॉर एयरफोर्स एंड नेवी विंग्स ऑफ एनडीए एंड इंडियन नेवल एकेडमी। सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस, इसमें स्कीम ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन जो है उसमें 2 अलग अलग पेपर लिए जाएंगे। एक मैथमेटिक्स का सब्जेक्ट कोड है 01, 2.5 घंटे का पेपर है 300 मार्क का। और दूसरा पेपर है जनरल एबिलिटी सब्जेक्ट कोड 02, 2.5 घंटे का, वो 600 मार्क के लिए है। तो कुल मिला के 900 मार्क का टेस्ट होगा ये। और एसएसबी और उसके बाद होगा सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड का टेस्ट और इंटरव्यू, वो भी 900 मार्क का है। द पेपर्स इन ऑल द सब्जेक्ट्स विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ objective type questions only. The question papers, test booklets of mathematics and part B of general ability test will be set bilingually in Hindi as well as in English. आइए सिलेबस देखते हैं टेस्ट का। पेपर 1 मैथमेटिक्स कोड नंबर 1, मैक्सिमम मार्क्स 300, जिसमें अलजेब्रा, concept of set, operations on set, Venn diagrams, De Morgan laws, Cartesian product relation, equivalence relation, representation of real numbers on a line, complex numbers, basic properties, modulus, argument, cube roots of unity, binary system of numbers, convergence of a number in decimal system to binary system and vice versa, arithmetic, geometric and harmonic progressions, quadratic equations with real coefficients, solution of linear inequations of two variables by graphs, permutations and combination, binomial theorem and its application, logarithms and their application, matrices and determinants, types of matrices, operations on matrices, determinant of a matrix, basic properties of determinants, adjoint and inverse of a square matrix, applications, solution of a system of linear equations in 2 or 3 unknowns by Cramer's rule and by matrix method, trigonometry, angles and their measures in degrees and in radians, trigonometrical ratios, trigonometric identities, sum and difference formulae, multiple and submultiple angles, inverse trigonometric functions, applications, height and distance, properties of triangles, analytical geometry of 2 and 3 dimensions, rectangular Cartesian coordinate system, distance formula, equation of a line in various forms, angle between two lines, distance of a point from a line, of a circle in standard and in general form, standard forms of parabola, ellipse and hyperbola, eccentricity and axis of conic point in a three-dimensional space, distance between 2 points, direction cosines and direction ratios, equation 2 points, direction cosines and direction ratios, equation of a plane and a line in various forms, angle between two lines, angle between two planes, equation of sphere, differential calculus, concept of a real valued function, domain, range, and graph of a function, composite functions, one-to-one, one-to, and inverse functions, notions of limit, standard limits, examples, continuity of functions, examples, algebraic operations on continuous functions, derivative of a function at a point, geometrical and physical interpretation of derivative, applications, derivatives of sum, product and quotient of a functions, derivative of functions with respect to another function, derivative of a composite function, second order derivatives, increasing and decreasing functions, applications of derivatives in problems of maxima and minima, integral calculus and differential equations, integration as inverse of differentiation, integration by substitution and by parts, standard integrals involving algebraic expressions, trigonometric, exponential and hyperbolic functions, evaluation of definite integrals, determination of areas of plane regions bounded by curves, applications, definition of order and degree of a differential equation, formation of a differential equation by examples, general and particular solution of a differential equations, solution of the first order and first degree differential equations of various types, examples, applications in problems of growth and decay. Vector algebra, vectors in 2 and 3 dimensions, magnitude and direction of a vector, unit and null vectors, addition of vectors, scalar multiplication of a vector, scalar product or dot product of two vectors, vector product or cross product of the two vectors, applications, work done by a force and a moment of a force and in geometrical problems, statistics and probability, statistics, classification of data, frequency distribution, cumulative frequency distribution, examples, graphical representation, histogram, pie chart, frequency polygon, examples, measure of central tendency, mean, median and mode, variance and standard deviation, determination and comparison, correlation and regression, probability, random experiment, outcomes and associated sample space, events, mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, impossible and certain events, union and intersection of events, complementary, elementary and composite events, definition of probability, classical and statistical examples, elementary theorems on probability, simple problems, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, simple problems, random variable as functions of on a sample space, binomial distribution, examples of random experiments giving rise to binomial distribution. Paper 2 General Ability Test Code 2 Maximum Marks 600 Part A English Maximum Marks 200 Question paper in English will be designed to test the candidate's understanding of English and workmanlike use of words. The syllabus covers various aspects like grammar and usage, vocabulary, comprehension and cohesion in the extended text to test the candidate's proficiency in English. Part B General Knowledge Maximum Marks 400 The question paper on general knowledge will broadly cover the subjects physics, chemistry, general science, social studies, geography, and current events. The syllabus given below is designed to indicate the scope of these subjects included in this paper. The topics mentioned are not to be regarded as exhaustive, and questions on the topic of similar nature not specifically mentioned in the syllabus may also be asked. Candidates' answers are expected to show their knowledge and intelligent understanding of the subject. Section A Physics Physical properties and states of matter, mass, weight, volume, density and specific gravity, principles of Archimedes, pressure barometer, motion of objects, velocity and acceleration, Newton's law of motion, force and momentum, parallelogram of forces, stability and equilibrium of bodies, gravitation, elementary ideas of work, power and energy, effects of heat, measurement of temperature and heat, change of state and latent heat, modes of transference of heat, sound waves and their properties, simple musical instruments, rectilinear propagation of light, reflection and refraction, spherical mirrors and lenses, human eye, natural and artificial magnets, properties of a magnet, earth as a magnet, static and current electricity, conductors and non-conductors, Ohm's law, simple electrical circuits, heating, lighting and magnetic effects of current, measurement of electrical power, primary and secondary cells, use of X-rays, general principles in the working of the following: simple pendulum, simple pulleys, siphon, levers, balloon, pumps, hydrometer, pressure cooker, thermostat, gramophone, telegraphs, telephone, periscope, telescope, microscope, mariner's compass, lightning conductors, safety fuses. Section B Chemistry Physical and chemical changes, element, mixtures and compounds, symbols, formulae, and simple chemical equations, law of chemical combination excluding problems, properties of air and water, preparation and properties of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, oxidation and reduction, acids, bases, and salts, carbon, different forms, fertilizers, natural and artificial, material used in the preparation of substances like soap, glass, ink, paper, cements, paints, safety matches, and gunpowder, elementary ideas about the structure of atom, atomic equivalent, and molecular weights, valency. And see, general science, difference between the living and non-living, basis of life cells, protoplasms and tissues, growth and reproduction in plants and animals, elementary knowledge of human body and its important organs, common epidemics, their causes and prevention, food, source of energy for man, constituents of food, balanced diet, the solar system, meteors and comets, eclipses, achievements of eminent scientists. Section D, history, freedom movement, etc. Broad survey of Indian history with emphasis on culture and civilization, freedom movement in India, elementary study of Indian constitution and administration, elementary knowledge of 5 year plans of India, Panchayat Raj, cooperatives and community development, Bhudan, Sarvodaya, national integration and welfare state, basic teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, forces shaping the modern world, Renaissance, exploration and discovery, War of American Independence, French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, and Russian Revolution, impact of science and technology on society, concept of one world, United Nations, Panchashil democracy, socialism, and communism, role of India in the present world. Section E, geography, the earth, its shape and size, latitudes and longitudes, concept of time, international dateline, movement of earth and their effects, origin of earth, rocks and their classification, weathering, mechanical and chemical, earthquakes and volcanoes, ocean currents and tides, atmosphere and its composition, temperature and atmospheric pressure, planetary winds, cyclones and anticyclones, humidity, condensation and precipitation, types of climate, major natural regions of the world, regional geography of India, climate, natural vegetation, mineral and power resources, location and distribution of agricultural and industrial activities, important seaports and main sea, land and air routes of India, main items of import and exports of India. Section of F, current events, knowledge of important events that have happened in India in the recent years. Current important world events, 24 prominent personalities, both Indian and international, including those connected with the cultural activities and sports. Note, out of the maximum marks assigned to part B of this paper, questions on section A, B, C, D, E, and F will carry approximately 25%, 15%, 10%, 20%, 20%, and 10% weightage respectively. The intelligence and personality test, the services selection board procedure consists of two stages. Selection process stage 1 and stage 2. Only those candidates who clear the stage 1 are permitted to appear for the stage 2. The details are: A. Stage 1 comprises of officer intelligence rating OIR tests or picture perception description test PP and DT. The candidates will be shortlisted based on the combination of performance in OIR test and PP and DT. B. Stage 2 comprises of interview, group testing, officer tasks, psychology tests, and the conference. These tests are conducted over 4 days. The details of these tests are given on the website joinindianarmy.nic.in. The personality of a candidate is assessed by three different assessors, namely the interviewing officer IO, group testing officer GTO, and the psychologist. There are no separate weightage for each test. The marks are allotted by the assessors only after taking into consideration the performance of the candidate holistically in all the tests. In addition, marks for conference are also allotted based on the initial performance of the candidate in the three techniques and the decision of the board. All these have equal weightage. The various tests of IO, GTO, and psychologist are designed to bring out the presence or absence of officer like qualities and their trainability in a candidate, and accordingly candidates are recommended or not recommended at the services selection board. एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस, डिटेल्ड एडवर्टाइजमेंट लिंक आप इस समय देख सकते हैं स्क्रीन पर, और डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में भी मैंने इसको दे दिया है। और उसके नीचे है एप्लीकेशन लिंक। एप्लीकेशन फ़ीस है इसके लिए 100 रुपये। इसका लास्ट डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन है 4 जून 2024। तो जो भी इंटरेस्टेड और एलिजिबल कैंडिडेट्स है, जो भी सर्विसेज में काम करना चाहते हैं, डिफेंस सर्विसेज में, एनडीए में, इंडियन आर्मी, इंडियन एयरफोर्स, इंडियन नेवी, तीनों में, वो ज़रूर इस मौके का फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं और जल्दी से जल्दी इस रोल्स के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। इसका लास्ट डेट 4 जून 2024 है। तो ये जॉब अपडेट आपको कैसा लगा, ये हमें ज़रूर बताइए आपकी प्रतिक्रिया द्वारा कमेंट सेक्शन में। वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन आइकॉन प्रेस कीजिए, जिससे कि आने वाले जॉब अपडेट्स आपको रेगुलरली मिलते रहेंगे।